Alrighty, everybody's ready. Welcome one and all. My name is Talaic, and this is one that I've been excited for a long time now. Hopefully you guys are ready. We're going to be playing Spyro Trilogy.
Okay, rolling.
It's been peaceful here in the Five Worlds, or is it 6? For a dragon's age, we now have 12,000 treasure, or is it 14,000?
What about this Gnasty Gnorc character? Now, I understand he's found a magic spell to turn gems into warriors for his cause.
I'll take that question. Gnasty Gnorc is a simple creature.
Simple?
He has been contained in a remote world and is no threat to the Dragon Kingdom.
No threat?
Besides, he is ugly.
Ugly? That does it!
Huh? Looks like I've got some things to do.
Huh. Alright, so I've been waiting for this one. I pre-ordered this game probably when it first came out. Like, I think I literally pre-ordered this game the day it became available for pre-order. Just because I was so excited for it. Oh, it runs so smooth. Oh, I'm digging that. Oh, it's so smooth that I fly right off. Oh, I'm digging that. Oh, look at that. Ooh, look at that. Oh, jeez. Oh, we're gonna do some nice things with this. Alright, so here, let's just get this guy first.
Thank you for releasing me, Spyro. Free 10 dragons in the Artisan world, then find the balloonist. He'll transport you to the next world.
What about Gnasty Gnorc? I'm going after him.
Find dragons first. That's all I can tell you.
Alright, so I never understood the concept of why he was able to get every single dragon except for me. I mean, I always assumed it was because of my small stature, but I'm also fairly certain that there has to be other dragons of my same size. I mean, 5 or 6 games down the road, you do kind of find other dragons that are like, I don't know if they're the same age, but they're like easily the same size as Spyro. He's got like little girlfriends and everything. I think A Hero's Tale was a good example. There were like plenty of other dragons out there. Oh, look at the ground! Oh, that is so cool. Oh my lord. I'm sorry, I can't get over this. So Spyro was the very first video game I ever played. And one of the things that I loved about this game was the destructible environment in a lot of them. Oh, I can't break this tree.
Where's Gnasty Gnorc? I'll torch him.
Keep your horns on, Spyro. You have much to learn first. Do you know what the dragonfly following you is doing?
His
name is Sparks, and he's helping and protecting you. Keep an eye on him and see what I mean.
So this was the first game I ever owned, ever played. Wow, they made it very plainly obvious. So it wasn't always quite obvious that you could do this at the beginning of the game. in the original, these wouldn't light up at the very beginning of the game. You had to get a little farther, and they would light up. Like when you got to like the second world or something, they would light up when you landed on them. But they didn't do anything at the very beginning before you did anything else. Whoop. But yeah, so I can't really say this game really revolutionized anything for me, just because it was the only game I had played when I played it. Like, it was literally the first game I ever played. So, like, it blew my world in a completely different sense. In the sense that, like, since I had never played any other games before, this was just like me going from real life to playing the game. Skill point, that's exciting. And one of the big things that I really loved about this game and the other games that followed it was, like I said, the destructible environment. So you would have, like, and it seems really simple now. I mean, back then, like, you didn't really see that with a lot of games. Like, you have, like, RPGs and stuff, and everything's very static. But in this game, you were able to, like, kill sheep and do whatever you wanted. And you were able to, like, burn things that I always thought was exciting. So the first game was more comical about it. You'd, like, burn a cactus or something, and it would, like, shake off. It would come alive. And then you had flowers all over the place that you could burn. I think specifically here you had these little pink flowers that were obviously all triangular and pixelated. Excuse me.
Cool, Flash, do that again.
The Artisan's boss is through a portal in the Dragon Mouth, but you are not yet ready, Spyro. First, you must complete one of the other Artisan lands.
This was a game that I played over and over and over again, just because we had it, you know, I played it. It was my very favorite game. Look at me, hippity hop. And I would just have so much fun with this game, because as a little kid, you have so much imagination, and, like, I would pretend to be so many different things, and I would spend hours playing this game, and just doing whatever I wanted to do, you know? Ow! Let me get back over here.
Hey, Spyro! Press the jump button twice to glide. And don't be afraid.
Afraid? Of what?
Falling from high mountain peaks? Plummeting into prehistoric glaciers?
Oh, that.
And everything was obviously a lot more simple, you know, being with PS1 graphics. Like, there weren't really any particular facial expressions, which they got better at some of that stuff by the second and third games. But there was not a whole lot to that in the first game. But I don't know, they still found a way to make this game feel so alive. You get over here. I'm gonna have to get used to that. The controls are very fluid, and, like, there was kind of a method to the madness in the original. Like, it wasn't incredibly fluid like this, but it was. They did it in a way that worked. That was. Oh, did they just, like, charge the flowers? That's interesting. Burn. Yeah, I don't know, it's just really cool, because the way you could interact with things, you had cannons, and you had plants and different things that, like, you had no idea if you could interact with them or not. Like, you could break them or you couldn't break them. And then you have these little whirligigs that you would run around on, and you're trying to collect everything, and you have to figure out how to get places. Whether or not you could return, like, I gotta go all the way back down. But, well, I forgot about that. You can kind of hover a little bit. But at the same time, like in the original game, like, you have everything at the very beginning of the game, so you know that you can go through your level and collect everything without having to worry about it, because you don't have no abilities or anything that you have to get later on. You have everything. You know how to do everything. So you can just go and complete all the levels, and I would absolutely do completionist runs through this every single time I play it. I've never played this game and not 100%ed it. Oh. even some of these gems are just kind of blending into the grass even. Whoa, what's this? Has that door always been there? I'm trying to remember. So we had that level. We have that level. The level over there. That over there. That down there. And over there. Yeah, no, the doors must be exclusive to this game. And then the platforming and everything was just so precise, and like when you had it, you know? Ow. And it was really cool, because on top of everything, your typical platformers, you have like Crash Bandicoot, which was probably the second game I ever played, because we kind of had both of these games at the same time, and so that was the game that I played. Well, I mean, you played both of them, but this was what I played first, and that was what I kind of got into afterwards. And so games like that. What's this guy got to say?
If you prove your worth by rescuing 10 dragons, then you may use this balloon to fly to a new world.
Digging that they gave everybody voices. Oh, I'm really digging that they got water everywhere. That is a good touch. That's so pretty. Oh, Lord. I'm gonna have to do like a comparison or something, because like, some people, I mean, most of you guys are probably gonna understand exactly what I'm talking about, but some of you guys probably have never even seen the first game, and just, everything just looks so nice. I was a little worried how they were gonna figure out how to add like a persisting environment, because in the original game it's like you had this sealed off area and then you had like a painted background, and then it was just a drop into the abyss of nothing. There wasn't really anything else, but I mean, even that was an abyss into nothing. But now they've added water, which is obviously a very simple fix, but it's a fix nonetheless. And it works. Alright, so we got all the gems. Should we hit this button? No, not that button. Oh, cool, it tells us down there then. So we've got all the dragons and all the gems. So we've completed the homeworld. So, this was the very first level I ever did. And I'm really excited to see how the loading screen works, because it was persistent. It's kind of persistent, but you can see how it kind of faded out to do it. Ah, that's disappointing. So another thing that it did was that it would show you the treasure, and then like all the treasure and gems would like burst out of a chest and like fall into another chest, and it was really cool. It seemed to have taken that away. And then go downwards. Look at that. Ah, and the soundtrack, they like redid the soundtrack and everything. Bang! Billy Goat can't contend with a dragon. Oh, and look at that! Oh, of course I can't land in it. So, I don't know what kind of time frames they had to work with when they were developing these games. Obviously, they had to come up with like a basis when they came out with the first game. So there were features and things like that in the second and third game that didn't exist in the first game. Possibly because they didn't want to invest that much time into it, because they didn't know how well it was going to do, or maybe they just didn't have the time to do it and they wanted to. I hear all those dings and I keep thinking that it was going to be like a one-up butterfly, which is in the second and third game, your one-ups weren't. You saw that I got a little chest earlier that had a little gray dragon in it, that little purple one in the hedge maze. Those are the lives in this game. In the second and third game, you have like little purple butterflies that you eat, and you could randomly get them from the critters that you kill. I'm gonna have to re-get my bearings, because I know all these maps pretty much by heart, but having such high graphics like makes everything look so strange. Are there always 3? There had to have been. Let's go this way. I don't know, but I don't know what kind of time frames they had to work with.
When you free a dragon or step on one of their platforms, you're saving your progress. That could be useful if you run into trouble. Not that you ever run into trouble, Spyro.
Because in the first game you can't swim. Ooh, the sound effect for these are really gonna be... It's satisfying, but it's not the same. What was that? Oh, it was you. I want to know if this is just a random fairy or if that's Zoe. I don't know. I'm really looking forward to hearing a lot of the sound effects, though, to see how they redid it. Because, like, with Crash Bandicoot, when they did the Insane Trilogy and revamped it, they did a really good job of redoing, like, the voice acting and everything, like, with Cortex. And Crash was kind of a little more cartoony than he used to be. Oh, yeah, these guys, these are the winters. Ding! That sound effect, that was almost exactly the same as it used to be, and that makes me very happy. That, however, is different.
After you've freed all the dragons, pass through this fancy vortex thingamajigger. It'll take you back to the Artisan home. But first, let me tell you a story.
No thanks. See ya!
One thing that I do like though are the diversity that they have added to the dragons. It used to be they had, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 voice actors, probably more than that, because I think they used some, I don't know, different voice actors or just different voices, but they had different kind of voices for different characters and things. Depending on which world you're in. Like, so right now we're in the Artisan world, and they have like the Hunter's world, where it's like a bunch of swampland, like a magic world where everything like flies around, and a desert world and all this stuff. And so you had like themes for how the dragons were styled. And so the Artisan world is full of like the so the Artisan world is full of like the typical like hippie, happy go lucky little dragons. The desert world is full of like military types, and then like the magic worlds were kind of like snobby, and the swamplands were full of kind of like flying back up out the well. I don't know, different voices for different areas and things. Oh, that sound is the same. That is nice. The little ding-a-ling-a-ling.
Watch the dragonfly, Spyro. His color indicates his power.
Oh, he's a tough guy.
When he eats butterflies, he stays strong. Like me.
Sure.
That is one thing they are staying true to. While they have like a more diverse cast of voices and things for these guys, they are using the same lines for the most part. Like maybe like tiny little bit touched up, but they are pretty much sticking to the same lines. Spyro's voice though is the one that I'm most excited about because he does sound pretty close to the original. Maybe not exactly, because the first game he was a bit more grungy, but the less grungy sound, like, that is pretty spot on for like the second or third game, and I assume he's going to obviously have the same voice for all three since they made them all at once. It's very nice. I don't know, just audio and sounds are very important to me. That's why the music has me so in awe, is because the music is so great, because they took the same score. You can kind of hear it in the background. Yeah, that. And they just retouched it. Like, if I could buy a soundtrack, or if I have access to a soundtrack, like, I would listen to these songs in my car. Just all the time. They're just so great. Hippity hippity hoppity, kill all this shit. Oh, that one actually had a life. Interesting. I didn't think they were going to add that in for the first one, because that wasn't available in the original. just because their system of... Oh, it was that. I thought I saw like a hot air balloon up there or something. Oh, hello. Got a giant
Spyro, my friend. How about a hint on gliding?
You bet.
For the longest glide,
They have
press
him
the
positioned
jump
like a
button
dog,
at the
though.
top of your jump, and try pressing the action button to drop down mid-flight.
What kind of action? Oh, that action. Okay. Alright, so... Yeah, they've added so much to the background. That must be all water. Yeah, so it used to be like you would see some hills like way in the background, but it was kind of like weirdly on the horizon, and the horizon below was like a pit into nothing. And then, yeah, where you see all that water is all just a pit into nothing to make sure that you couldn't like exploit the game and fly out of the level and all this stuff. But now they have it to where it makes a lot more sense. Like there's cliffs, and the cliffs fall into the ocean, or water, or what you call it. That was a little weird for a second because I thought it was just a square was missing, but I guess there's a hill that goes into it. Oh, that's adorable. What is he doing? I love Spyro so much. Okay. We're almost done here. Oh, I remember these. These are supposed to be like force field generators. It's pretty cool technology when you think about it. Oh, and the crystals light up when you do that. I used to sit here and for like 15 minutes straight, I would just sit here doing this. Just to try to see if there was a spot that I could jump through. And obviously I never made it through. And you know, when you get older and you start experimenting with cheat codes and things, you find ways to get around stuff like that. Like, I remember that for this game, I think there's a cheat code where you could jump and then jump again and jump again, and you could just infinitely climb into the sky. A lot of games have cheats like that. I remember something like that for Ratchet & Clank too. And it was really cool, because then you could glide with Spyro. Like, no other game really had mechanics like that. Ooh, this guy. Come here, little what? The voice and everything that they gave him is na 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 na. It is just high pitched enough that it really knew how to really get on your nerves. Come on, come on, come on! You just gotta get close enough. Ah, got him! Got an egg. All right, let's see how they get those guys and collect all the dragon eggs. Stole your eggs because he's a little bastard. Here we are, the little castle. So you can see that you can jump back down to that area, or you can climb up here and get all the little secret gems. Oops. Oh, look at that! You can climb on this. Okay, so that's the way out. I'm excited to see what kinds of things you can jump on because the hitboxes are going to be a little different. They add a force field. I don't really see any point in adding a force field to prevent you from getting up there. Not hurting anything by going up there. Not getting out of the map at all, really. Alright, we got 9 gems left, and I think we've got everything. That was kind of the hard part sometimes, is finding the last couple gems. Especially when you're not paying attention, you don't know where you've been or where you're going. Oh, there's stuff over there, I see. You always felt like really powerful running around too. That's another thing that I think they've done a good job of recreating with all the dust that's flying in the background, is just you feel powerful when you're running. But even the tree shakes a little bit. It's just like, ow, I'm a tree. Oh, there's a couple. What are we missing? 3 more. they're around the other side. Can't burn that. Oh, and the way your character like turns sideways around the corners there, or you know, when the cliff kind of like turns to the side, downhill and whatnot. That's really nice. There they are. Da, 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 da. I really hope they brought back the little trumpet sound when you complete the levels in the other games. Yep, that's everything. And there you go, roll is done. Yeah, I am a little disappointed that they took away the treasure loading thing that they had where the treasure flies out, because that was always really cool to me as a kid. And there you go, and then you'll get to see the bubble system. Alright, yeah, bubble system. You can get a little dot on the head. So once you get the gem out of them, then you start collecting little bubbles. This used to be the way to get lives before they had lives popping out of sheep. Because you saw that I got a life when I killed the sheep a little bit ago. It used to be that you either got them from the little purple chests, or you would collect the bubbles. And if you have enough bubbles, you get a life. And then occasionally, if you destroy an enemy that would normally give you a bubble, sometimes it would just drop a straight up life. That's interesting. Alright. I hope you guys are excited as I am, but that is the Artisan world, and then our little sheep world, whatever that's called. So, I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you're enjoying, because I know I certainly am. I'm really stoked. I just sneezed fire on the ground, that's awesome. Excuse me, excited burp. Also salsa burp. Leave a like if you guys are enjoying. Let me know how I'm doing. I'm really excited about this game, so leave me a comment and I'll try to keep up with you guys. I'll see you guys next go around.